found this video, you have good taste and your mother has raised you right. So to give you a little bit of backstory about me, I've had 16 bikes in the last 7 years. And today I am riding my trusty steed, my 2019 Kawasaki ZX6r. As you can tell by this Kawasaki thing that every Kawasaki owner has. So I figured I own this bike for a little bit. So hey, why not just do a little miniature review? Now this is not going to be a review for, you know, it's not going to be professional. I am just a regular rider. I ride the streets. I ride the country roads, the freeways. This is the land of the freeways, by the way. And I figured I can give my insight because I've ridden quite a few bikes, so I should give my insights. So this bike has 128 horsepower is what Kawasaki said, but you know, these dyno at probably like 118 to the wheel, 117. 49 foot-pounds of torque if I had to guess. The suspension is Showa. Now I've never adjusted this to my weight, but it, you know, it does a pretty good job. There's no bouncing around or anything like that. Pretty decent stopping power. I mean, this is a race bike, so it has to have decent stopping power. Let's test it. Hold on. Whee! Oh yeah, pretty good stopping power. Of course, I didn't do a complete stop, or an emergency stop. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Let's talk about gas. It does have a gas gauge. The gas gauge is kind of finicky in a way. Like the range will say, oh, you got 60 miles, but it'll be on the last bar. So it's like, I don't know what to trust. But on average, I think this bike will give you a good 130 miles before you have to go stop or you end up on the side of the road stranded. Handling is pretty good. I mean, it has to be. Again, it is a race bike, so it has to be good. You know, you can't have a race bike that handles like a piece of shit, you know, or like a Harley. I don't want to say they're the same thing because I have a Harley, but you know, the bike handles well. The clip-ons are pretty low, and one thing that I was taught as a sport biker, you know, if you're doing, you know, things like this, like, you know, just city riding, stoplights, you know, whatever, is not to keep your arms locked. Don't be so tense on it, but use your legs to squeeze the tank. And you know, and I saw a video about Ryan F9, and he posted something about the ice cream, like you twist the throttle like you are handling some ice cream, and it does help. Like, cause this, it gets a little strenuous after a little bit just holding it like this, but I'm still learning. I don't know. The dash is very simple. You have a gear indicator, you have a clock, you have a rev counter. Turning here. Whee! You can switch between things. You can switch, you got your intake air, miles per gallon average, your range, which 159 is, like I told you, is very fucking finicky. Like, I'm almost at half a tank and it's telling me 159. Of course, your engine temp, which I keep it on engine temp. You got your full and your low power, your traction control, which I have it at 1, which is KTRC, Kawasaki traction control. I have the quick shifter on, of course. It does have a quick shifter. Now, my gripe with the quick shifter is between first and second, it's kind of laggy. So what I do is between first and second, I just use the clutch like a peasant. And my mileage is 78.77 currently. I bought this bike at 7,000 miles. And this bike has been great for what I wanted to use it for. But I feel like I'm wasting its potential by just driving it around or riding it around city streets. But that's what most people use these bikes for anyway. It comes with an M4 exhaust, M4 slip-on, had a servo buddy. I just added the TSC Industries stuff, the TSG Industries integrated brake lights and turn signals up front. Looks really good. I really like how this bike has two headlights on at the same time. You know how certain bikes just have one headlight on, like the R6 R1. That shit is doo-doo water, man. Give me a bike with two lights on, because I like symmetry, man. I like symmetry. I like even numbers. I got this Puig windscreen because the stock windscreen is shit. It's not that good. Mirrors are pretty decent. You still have to kind of, you know, pull your arms in to see a little bit what's behind you, but you still have a decent picture. And I've seen people who get rid of these mirrors and put the ZX10 mirrors on. ZX10 mirrors are great. I've had a ZX10 before, so I know how great those mirrors are. This bike, I'm at 7,000 RPM. This bike has bad vibration. Like if you were to stay in this mode, and a lot of people aren't going to stay in this, you're either going to go high or super low when it comes to like the RPMs. But if you stay in the middle, bro, the bike, your handlebars are very vibrating. No, dumbass. Bike gets very, very vibrating, and it numbs your hands after a while. And the vibration is in the seat too, and it tickles my taint. Speaking of the seat, it's not hard. Like there's some cushion, but you know, after an hour and a half, 2 hours, it you want to get off. The seat kind of has like these edges, and kind of dig into the side of my ass cheeks or the side of my thighs. This is not a long distance bike. This bike does get hot. This bike does get hot, and it makes me nervous sometimes. Of course, you know, it's not. This, as long as it stays below 230, it's fine. But like today's air temperature is about 85 degrees right now. It's still winter, by the way. So my rider position, I am 5'11", 32-inch inseam. My legs are tucked up in an acute angle position, obviously. This is an attack position. The clip-ons are low. It's very aggressive. This bike is not supposed to be meant for leisurely strolling like this. But if you can take the pain, then you're Gucci. If you know how to keep the weight off your wrist, then you're Gucci. My problem. Fucking idiot, dude. Damn it. Fucking moron. Holy shit. Woo! Dumbass bitch. Okay, so this is my bike. As you can see, got the Puig windscreen. The windscreen does a better job, a lot better job keeping the wind off you than the stock does. There's still some wind, but that's fine. As you can see, the TSC Industries turn signals, they make the bike look cleaner. It's better than the halogen stuff that they had before. Bike is dirty, so don't mind it. You got the GB Racing. All this stuff was put on outside of the TSC Industries light, which is very bright, by the way. All this stuff was put on by the previous owner. The tech spec tank grips, frame sliders are Shogun. The racing, the engine covers, the M4 exhaust, it still has a cat on it, so it's just a slip-on. And of course, yeah, the brake light works pretty damn good. And I love this colorway too. I love the orange better. Actually, I like the green better too, but the gray you can't go wrong with. So I think the style gets an A+ for me. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So let's get back on. One thing about this bike, it does have a hot start problem. You kind of have to rev it a little bit. I don't know what it is with Kawasaki's, man, but they do have that. Well, this model anyway has that. It's like it's a hot start problem. The only electronics this bike has is ABS, traction control, and this quick shifter. And sometimes that's all you need. You know, you don't need something super sophisticated. You know, this bike does not have a TFT display, which honestly, let me walk back that statement. Because sometimes you need a TFT display. I mean, analog, I love my analog tachometer. You got all your stuff on the side where, you know, you go into neutral, your stuff when it comes to like oil, your check engine light. High beams, of course, you know, high beams will show up there. What gets me is that the Ninja 650 of the same year has a TFT display. Why couldn't you fit this bike with a TFT display? Now I understand 600s are dying, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, but come on, bruh. I get it, but I don't get it. I do like this design. Let's be real. I do like this design, but sometimes I kind of wish that I would have a TFT display on here. Sometimes. But you can't beat the analog tack though. Analog tacks are timeless. They always look good. So reliability. It's a Kawasaki. After a while, my back does hurt. Which, you know, maybe it's because I'm getting older. I am an older man. I would say as far as sport bikes goes, this is pretty decent in the city. It's not the best. There's better applications like naked bikes, but the reason I don't like naked bikes because I have 4 of them. I had 2 MT-09s, 1 FZ8, which is my first bike, and I had a Speed Triple 1050. When you're out on the freeway, you don't have any kind of wind protection. You can get a I will say this, I did have a 2021 MT-09, and I did buy a windscreen for it. The wind wasn't too bad on it. I did buy a windscreen just for those long rides so my neck doesn't get tired. I don't feel like I've been in a brawl fight with 12 motherfuckers, big ass motherfuckers with pool sticks and shit. But for some reason I keep going back to them. They're easier to work on. These fairings, they're not that annoying to get off. But they are annoying to get off because they're fairings. So any kind of work you have to do, bruh, make sure that you retrace your steps. Of course, there are videos that go in depth on what you need to do. You know, screws, Velcro. This bike has Velcro, different push pins. I'll let this Dodge whatever get over. So it tells you what you need to do, but fairings are still annoying as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Highway riding, this baby's a peach. Street riding, not so much. Whoop. Like your wrist, if you're not careful, your wrist will be fatigued, your back will be fatigued. You know, but you engage your core, and the wrist thing won't be a problem. But for me, the main problem is the back issue. In summary, what I like about this bike, the looks. I like that it's I like the analog tack. I like the way it looks. I love that it has LEDs. I mean, everything has LEDs these days, except for like ZX6rs. What I don't like the seating position too much. It does get hot. Of course, it's a race bike. Of course, it's gonna get hot. It's like I'm grasping at straws to find out what I don't like. But I like more about this bike than what I don't. I would give this bike, this is saying 86 out of 100. If you use it for its purpose, it's amazing. But if you piddle it around like I do, or like most people are gonna do when you have these bikes, it's not that great. To have fun on this, you have to be on a twisty road, you have to be on a freeway or a track, you have to not be on shit like this. If you're just commuting on it, it's not that great. Of course, you can find little pockets to have fun. What? You like that? Would I buy this again? I do like it. I'm not too big of a fan of inline fours. I will be real with you. Brake test. Whee! Oh, those brakes are good. Those brakes are good. I'm not a big of a fan of inline fours, so I don't know if I would buy this bike again. It's sexy. The inline fours do scream. They do make a good sound, but if I sell this bike, or when I sell this bike, I don't think I would miss it too much. So I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't buy this bike again. But it is a great bike. I hate to contradict myself like that, but it is what it is.